Hello, BookTube. Welcome to another minute and a half of landscape therapy. This augmented by a rather splendid structure. Looks like it was built. Oh, good question, actually. There's a part of it that looks older than others, but I'm not an architecture expert. It isn't even a hobby, in fact. This is part of just a really lovely sunny Saturday that we decided to spend in Cambridgeshire. I haven't got a topic yet that will go with this video, but that's never stopped us before, has it? Because as long as it's beautiful, as long as there's birds, trees, dirt, sky, possibly water, then that fulfills all the requirements for one of these little videos. Time to let you listen now.
Hello, BookTube. Welcome to a coffee break. Now, last Saturday, I was in London, and in spite of the fact, as you can see, I don't need any more books, do I? I mean, I have no bookcase space for more books. But I went to Foyles. For anyone who doesn't know, and who there might still be a few people who don't know, Foyles used to be listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest bookstore. Now, it doesn't hold that record anymore. In fact, I found out that even if we're just talking about London, the Piccadilly branch of Waterstones is now bigger than Foyles. But Foyles, it still feels like a sort of a book lover's place of pilgrimage, right? It feels really special to go there. And I went there and I bought 3 books. Yeah. In spite all this behind me, I bought 3 books. Now, without consciously trying, the titles I chose were all put out by small or independent publishing houses. Names I'd never heard of before. That is, the authors' names, book names, publishers' names, all new. Small publishers, they can't always discount their book prices. That's the one downside. But they can showcase talent that larger publishers might just overlook. And they can deliberately seek out books with a whole different vibe, or they rescue lost voices. So I want to talk about those publishing houses. Obviously, this is going to be, I suppose, a little bit like a book haul, except 3 books doesn't really count as a haul, and I don't do hauls. I'm more interested in the publishers, so I'm going to show you the books that I bought, but I'm going to talk about who published them. So, first book I'm going to put on screen right now. And this, The Pepsi Cola Addict, was brought out by Strange Attractor Press. Now, this is an interesting little firm, founded in 2003 by Mark Pilkington and Jamie Sutcliffe, who were just 2 London-based writers. And the stated mission of Strange Attractor Press is to celebrate unpopular culture, which that caught my attention right away. Their catalogue consists mainly of a kind of esoteric mix of non-fiction. I wanted to be more specific, but no matter how many times I reviewed their catalog, I just couldn't come up with any subcategories, except they have a certain interest in the artwork of Austin Osman Spare, if you're into him, and some interesting musicians. Their submission guidelines insist that they won't deal with literary agents and that they don't pay advances. Authors are paid a share of the profit, so that's kind of revolutionary. Now, they also publish the occasional novel, and that's what I found, right? I bought this copy of The Pepsi Cola Addict by June Alison Gibbons. Now, the book was shrink-wrapped on the shelf. I don't think I've ever seen that shrink-wrap book. So I picked it up thinking, okay, I'm going to take a real gamble here because I can't flip through it or anything. So I had to go off to one of the benches that I don't think you can see anything in this photo. No, there are benches at Foyles where you can sit down, after all that exhausting hard work of browsing. And I Googled the name June Alison Gibbons, and that's when a whole episode of British social history opened up. And I won't say more, right? I'm going to save the rest for a review when I've read this book. The second one, bear with me because I'm going to put the cover on screen. There we go. So the next small publisher is Hope Road and their Small Axes imprint. Now, Hope Road was founded in 2010 by Rosemarie Hudson, who was a former film and television executive. And what she wanted to do was promote new writing from Asia, Africa, the Caribbean. And Pete Ayrton joined her. He was a publisher and a philosophy lecturer, and he became the editor of the imprint Small Axes. And their aim was to look for post-colonial works that had fallen out of print. And this one, you'll be amazed at this one. I bought a copy of Nectar in a Sieve. Weird as it might seem, Kamala was a best-selling novelist in the 1950s and 60s. The book that you're looking at here sold 100,000 copies in 1954. That is not a small print run for 1954. And the back cover write-up says, before there was Salman Rushdie, before there was Amitav Ghosh or Arundhati Roy, there was Kamala Markandeya. So why is it that we know these three male writers, but not Kamala? So, I mean, that was an easy buying decision. And I'm really glad that Hope Road and Small Axes are looking out for writers who, for whatever reason, were getting overlooked in terms of getting reprints. Okay, so let's go on to the next book, Cat Brushing by Jane Campbell. And this is to showcase a publisher called Quercus Editions and their Riverrun imprint. Now, strictly speaking, Quercus isn't an independent publisher any longer, right? They were bought out by Hodder and Stoughton in 2014. But their history is still interesting, right? They were set up only, I think it's 2004, by two former employees of the Orion Publishing Group. And within a couple of years, they were picking the kinds of titles and authors that sold well and won awards. And you might not know this, but their coup de grace was they were the ones that snapped up Stieg Larsson's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, in 2008. And that was, incidentally, the first translated title to reach #1 in the UK hardback charts. So it's quite an achievement. So they have a knack, it seems, of spotting something special, the next big thing. Now, what impressed me about this book, the book I chose, Cat Brushing by Jane Campbell, is that it is a debut work of fiction by an 80-year-old. Yeah. Now, speaking as an almost 60-year-old, I'm thrilled that Quercus have, showcased this new author who, as it happens, isn't also a young author. And that's rare, not to have that, as a combination. And the characters which are driving all of Campbell's short stories in this volume are older women who are defying the stereotypes of age. I'm going to quote a passage that's in one of the stories, but it also appears on the back cover. Here we go. I was told of an older woman who was asked by her granddaughter, Granny, when was the happiest moment of your life? I don't know, Granny replied. I may not have had it yet. I just love that. I'm going to make that my motto, right? The happiest time of my life may not have happened yet. Well done, Quercus, for finding that gem. Now, we don't have a tag about independent publishers, do we? I've asked this to the BookTube world, general question. But I would love to see content from other BookTube creators. If you know of an amazing book that owes its existence to one of the smaller publishing houses, it'd be cool if everybody, did little videos on that. I don't know what to call the tag, guys. If you if you can think of a name for the tag, Small Press Love or something. I don't know. We'll think of something. I will leave links in my description box to the 3 publishers that I've mentioned if you want to check out their back catalogs. Okay, expect to see these 3 books coming up in fiction reviews soon because I'm really excited about them. Thanks very much for joining me for this coffee break. I look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.